Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Shri Mahaganadhipataye Namaha. Narayana Samarambham Vyasa Sankara Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Vyasam Vasishtanaptaram Sikteh Pautramakalmasham Parasharatmajam Vande Sukatatam Taponidhim Sudhismruti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpada Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Kesavam Badarayanam Sutrabhashyakritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah. We are studying about the Atma Bodha written by Sankaracharya. Now we are continuing from the earlier episode. Amanastvaname dukkaragadvesha bhayadayah aprano hyamana subhra ityadi srutishasanat. I am not manas, and hence I am not having sorrow, attachment, malice and fear. Amanastvanname dukkharaga dvesha bhayadaya. I am not manas, and hence I am not having sorrow. The commandment of the Upanishads is that Atma is without breath and without mind and is pure. The Atma does not have any feature of the mind or manas. Manas only experiences happiness and sorrow. When we are in deep sleep, let us check up with ourselves. When we are in deep sleep, we are not experiencing any of the features of manas or mind. But Atma exists even ever in deep sleep. Even in the deep sleep also there is Atma. Hence Atma is not manas. Atma cannot be treated as mind. Nirguno nishkriyo nityo nirvikalpo niranjanah nirvikaro nirakaro nityamuktasmi nirmalah. Atma is without attributes and actions. It is eternal, without any desire or thought, without any vasanas, without any change, without form, ever liberated and ever pure. Here, Atma's nature is described. It is eternal because it has no limits, time and space. It is free from any attachment because it has nothing to do with mind. It has no actions because it has nothing to do with the body or organs. Aham akashavat sarvam bahirantargato achyutah sada sarva samasiddho nisango nirmalo achalah. Like the space, like the akasha, I feel all things within and without. I am changeless and the same in all. I am pure, unattached, stainless and motionless. Sada sarva samasiddho nisango nirmalo chalah. I am very pure, unattached, stainless and motionless. Nitya Suddha Vimuktaikam Akhandanandam Advayam Satyam Jnanam Anantam Yatparam Brahmahameva Tat Satyam Jnanam Anantam Yatparam Brahmahameva Tat. I alone am the Supreme Brahma, which is pure, eternal and free, and which is indivisible. non-dual and changeless in all the periods of time. It is knowledge itself and is infinite. In these slokas from 32 to 36, what we have just studied, there is a discussion of Brahma as defined in Upanishads like Taittiriya Upanishad. So far, a better understanding, the reader is advised to go through the Upanishads. If we want to understand this Atma Bodha in detail, we have to go through the Upanishad, where it has been given in detail. So, particularly in the Taittiriya Upanishad. Evam nirantarakrita brahmaivasmiti vasana haratya vidya vikshepan roganiva rasayanam. Thus, the impression or the vasanas created by constant practice of aham brahmasmi, it destroys ignorance and the agitation, vikshepa, caused by avidya or ignorance. Just as medicine destroys disease. So just like a medicine destroys the disease, this is what is happening. The practice of aham brahmasmi has to be intensified by long reflection to destroy ignorance. Let us now find out how to do this. Let us see how we can do this. Vivekta desha asino virago vijitendriyah bhavayedekamatmanam tamanantam ananyadhi tam anantam ananyadhi. One should sit in a solitary place with a mind free from desires and controlling the sense organs. Meditate with unswerving attention on the Atma, which is infinite and one without a second. Advaita, that is one without a second. There is no duality. Atmanyevakilam drishyam pravilapyadhiya sudhihi bhavayedekamatmanam nirmalakasavatsada nirmalakasavatsada. The wise man should merge this visible world with Atma alone in an intelligent way and constantly think of the Atma as the stainless or pure sky. Here, the intelligence needed is the power of discrimination. Atma and Atma Vivekam, that is the power of discrimination. We have to discriminate what is Atma and what is not. Merging the visible world with Atma is by visualizing the Atma in everything, in the world that has Chetana and is seen by the eyes. Rupavarādikam sarvam vihaya paramarthavit paripurna chidananda swarupena avatisthate. One who has realized by constant practice of meditation, the Supreme Paramatma discards all things with names and forms. He then remains as an embodiment of the infinite consciousness and bliss. Such an Atma Jnani will not only experience Chidananda but becomes Ananda personified, Ananda itself. Jnatrugnanajñeya bhedaha parenatmani vidyate Chidanandaika rupatvat dipyate swayameva hi. There are no distinctions such as knower, knowledge and the object of knowledge in the Supreme Self, Paramatma. As the nature of Paramatma is endless bliss and self-luminous, there are no such distinctions within itself. Yet alone shines. It alone shines. Swayameva hi. It alone shines. एवमात्मारणौ ध्यानमदने सततं कृते उदितावगतिर्ज्वाला सर्वाज्ञानेन्धनं दहेत् एवं Atma. In ancient days, the sacrificial fire was kindled by rubbing of two pieces of wood, one placed upon another. That is what is called as arani. So in all these sacrifices, fire, it is created by rubbing two pieces of wood. The natural fire will come out. So that is what is called as arani. By turning in the form of constant contemplation on the Mahamantra, Aham Brahmasmi, Aham Brahmasmi, Aham Brahmasmi, I am the Supreme Self. In the array of Atma, with mind as the lower piece and Om as upper piece, the fire of knowledge, Jnana is born and it shall burn down all the ignorance or Ajnana in us. It will automatically burn the ignorance or the Ajnanam within ourselves. It is Ajnanam. Where is Ajnanam? Ajnanam is in us only. So it will be burned down. Aruneneva bodhena purvam santamase krite tata avirbhavedatma swayameva amshuvaniva. The Lord of early dawn, Aruna, drives away darkness of the night and heralds sunrise. Similarly, while the darkness of Ajnana or ignorance is destroyed by knowledge, Atma rises within of its own accord like sunrise. Just like the sunrise, Atma rises within of its own. Atma tu satatam praptopyaprapta vada vidyaya tapsase praptavat bhati tannashe praptavat bhati swakanthabharanam yadha. Atma is an ever-present reality, Sat. It is always present, Satyam. Otherwise we will call it as Satyam or Sat. Yet it is not realized due to ignorance. Though it is a present reality as a Sat, yet it cannot be realized due to ignorance. That is what is Ajnana. Until and unless this ignorance is totally taken away, you cannot see the Atma. When ignorance is destroyed, Atman is realized as an object newly gained, just as the ornament of one's neck. A person searches for the gold ornament already in his neck due to his forgetfulness. Already the ornament is in the neck itself. Because we have forgotten, we search somewhere here or there, somewhere. When he later finds it, he feels very happy, as if he found a new ornament. It is already there in the neck. In spite of that, by searching outside, when we understand it is in our neck, we feel as if we found a new ornament. He has thus lamented over a thing which is not lost. It is neither lost nor found, but it is already there, which we again found out. The Atma is ever with us. It is always with us. We only recognize it when the cause for its wheeling, ignorance, ajnana is removed through constant and sincere sadhana. These are the two things which we have to do to know the Atma or to remove our ajnana or ignorance. Constant and sincere sadhana is absolutely essential. Without these two, it is not possible to recognize the Atma. Sthanau purushavat bhrantya krita brahmani jivita jivasya tatviko rupe tasmin drushte nivartate. Due to delusion, a tree appears to be a man. Sometimes by seeing a tree, we think that some person is there. It is because of delusion or maya. Similarly, Brahman, who is Paramatma, appears to be Jivatma because of delusion. When such delusion is destroyed, the real nature of Jiva is realized as the Atma. तत्त्वस्वरूपानुभवादुत्पन्नं ज्ञानमञ्जसा अहं ममेति च ज्ञानं बाधते दिग्भ्रमादिवत्. Just as the identity of directions east, west, north and south is known when sun rises and dispels darkness, the knowledge produced by the realization of the true nature of Atma destroys the ignorance or ajnana which gave rise to the wrong notions of possession, the I and mine in everyone. The sense of I and the concept of mine both become meaningless and delusory when the Atma is realized as one universal reality. Samyak vijnanavan yogi swatmanyevakhilam jagat ekancha sarvamatmanamikshate jnanachakshusha. Ekamcha sarvamatmanamikshate jnanachakshusha. The yogi of perfect realization sees through his eye of wisdom. This eye of wisdom, what we call as jnanachakshushu, jnananetram. That is what is called as eye of wisdom. These two are our skin eyes, charma chakshus. But the jnana chakshushu, that is eye of wisdom within ourselves. The entire universe, Jagat, as the manifestation of his own Atma and regards everything else as his own Atma and nothing else. So for this purpose, this is possible only through the eye of wisdom. Atmaivedam jagat sarvamatmanonyanna vidyate mrudo yatvat ghatadini swatmanam sarvam ikshate. The entire universe is verily Atma. The whole, the complete or the total universe is nothing but Atma. Nothing other than Atma exists. Pots, jars and other potteries are made of clay. Ordinary mud is there. That is the basic thing. From this mud you can create pot, you can create a jar and other various types of potteries. But the basic one is only mud or clay. They come out of mud and finally go back to the same mud. Mud is there. From that we create a pot or jar. When this pot or jar is again destroyed, again it becomes mud. There is no separate existence for the pottery, for the mud pots or jars apart from the mud. So too, Atma is the reality, Sat, which has given shape to the world, to this Jagat or Samsara, of different names and forms. This is rightly understood by the man of wisdom. For this purpose, that is what is called as Jnani. A man of wisdom or Jnani can only understand this. So this is rightly understood by the man of wisdom or Jnani only. Ajnani or man of ignorance, he cannot understand. Jivan muktastu tadvidvan purvopadi gunam styajet Satchitananda rupatvat bhavet brahmaraketavat. Satchitananda rupatvat bhavet brahmaraketavat. A Jivan Mukta, one who has realized the Atma by long years of meditation upon the divine nature of the Atma and has become completely free from ignorance, totally free from ignorance or avidya. Even while he lives in his body, gives up the traits of the gross, subtle and causal bodies, upadis. On account of his nature of Satchitananda, he verily becomes Brahma. Like the worm which grows up in the mud nest for a long time and transforms into a wasp after contemplation over the form and nature of the wasp. Bhavet Brahmaraketavat. That is what is called as a contemplation over the form and nature of the wasp. Tirtva moharnavam hatva ragadveshadi rakshasan yogi shanti samayukta atma ramo virajate. The yogi who crosses the ocean of moha or delusion and kills the demons called likes and dislikes, icha and dvesha, likes and dislikes, will be peaceful and dwells in the glory of his own real self as an Atma Rama. So that yogi, there will be no likes and dislikes. He does not like anybody, he does not dislike anybody. Here, the phrase Atma Rama is used, suggesting that Atma is godly like Rama, the incarnation of Paramatma who crossed the royal ocean and killed demon Ravana. Vahya nitya sukha saktim hitva atma sukha nivruttah ghatastha deepavat swastah swantareva prakashate. The Jivan Mukta who relinquishes all his attachments to the illusory, anitya and external bhakya happiness and is satisfied with the bliss derived from Atma. That Jivan Mukta shines inwardly like a lamp placed in a pot. As the Jivan Mukta detaches from all sense organs, Jivan Mukta will be no attachment with any sense organ. He will be totally detached from all the sense organs. He returns the mind inward, it will be still without any delusions. Then his mind experiences this inward light of the Supreme Brahma. The first experience is by his mind. That Supreme Brahma is experienced. There is inward light within himself. Upadhistopi taddhair mairalipto vyomavanmunubhi vyomavanmunihi sarvavinmudavat tishtrasakto vayuvaccharet. The state of Jivan Mukta is further described in this sloka. In this particular sloka, the state of Jivan Mukta, totally liberated person, is described. Though he lives in the upadhis, he remains untainted like the sky. Vyomavata, just like sky. And he moves about like the wind, perfectly unattached. Just like wind, it is no attachment to the wind. Upadhi vilayat Vishnu nirvisesham vishen munihi jale jalam viyat yomni tejasiva yadha. When the upadhis are destroyed, a person who constantly contemplates on the divine is totally absorbed in Vishnu, the all-pervading spirit, just as water is absorbed into water, space into space, and light into light. Yallabha na paro labho yatsukha na param sukham yajnana na param jnanam tad brahmetyavadharayet. Tad brahmetyavadharayet. Realize that to be a Brahma, the attainment of which leaves nothing more to be attained, the blessedness, sukham, which is far more superior to any other blessedness, and the jnana, which is superior to any other knowledge. The supreme experience of realization of Brahma is explained in this sloka as one, the greatest gain, secondly, the greatest knowledge or jnana, after gaining which none will like to add any more to it, and thirdly, the greatest bliss of the self, after enjoying which none will strive for a greater bliss. All Upanishads like Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, and also Mundaka Upanishad, the other Upanishad what is called as Mundaka Upanishad, it confirms this. The highest goal is to know Brahma and become. That is the goal, to know and become Brahma only. That is the highest goal. Yadruštva na param drishyam, yadbhutva na punarbhavah, yajñātva na param jneyam, tad brahmet avadharayet. After seeing which there is nothing else to be seen, after attaining which there will not be any more birth, after knowing which there is nothing else to be known, that is to be understood as Brahma. That is the pinnacle, that is the final, and that is the ultimate. There is nothing above this. For the yogi who attained the highest goals of Adhyatma and become a Brahmajnani, nothing else is required, because everything else is dismal compared to the Brahma. Bhagavad Gita calls this highest goal as the supreme abode, and yogis reach there never to return. That is what is said in the Sankhya Yoga. In the Sankhya Yoga, it is said like this, that is the abode, and yogis reach there never to return. Nasa punaravartate, there is no point of returning back. Tiryavorthamadha purnam Satchidanandamadvayam Anantam nityamekam Yattat brahmet avadharayet. The one that pervades in all places, even above and below, is Brahma. It is one without a second. It is infinite, eternal, and filled with Satchidananda. It exists as only one. That one is to be understood as Brahma. That is what is called as Brahman. This description of Brahma is in Mundaka Upanishad, which also says that it is immortal and is there before and exists behind and in all sides. Atadvya vritti rupena vedantair lakshate avyayam akhandanandamekam yattat brahmet avadharayet. This Brahma is non-dual, indivisible, blissful, and always exists as only one. The Upanishads indicate that this Brahma is reached by a process of negation of what it is not and of assertion of what it is. Akhandananda rupasya tasyananda lavastritah brahmadyastaratamyena bhavantyanindino akhilah. All the deities like Indra, Varuna and others worshipped by us are only a particle of the unlimited bliss of Parabrahma, and accordingly enjoy their proportionate share of that particle. Our living being who worships deities enjoy the bliss of Paramatma according to his capacity. But it is only a very small fraction of the total Atmananda the Parabrahma is capable of giving. According to Vedanta, all meritorious and virtuous men after death enjoy a particle of the bliss of Paramatma. After the fraction of bliss of Paramatma is exhausted, they are again born as great men and help to establish dharma. Dharma samsthapanardhaya sambhavami yuge yuge. They establish dharma. We can imagine this easily in the Paramatma incarnation of Lord Krishna, who told, I will be born again and again to destroy adharma and to establish dharma. Dharma samsthapanardhaya sambhavami yuge yuge paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha duskrutam. This is what is being said in Bhagavad Gita. Tadyuktam akhilam vastu vyavaharaschidanvitah tasmat sarvagatam brahma kshire Satpirivabhile, Satpirivabhile. The whole creation is pervaded by Brahma. It is because of Brahma only all actions are taking place in this universe. Brahma permeates everything as butter permeates milk. You cannot see the butter in the milk with our naked eyes. Just like butter is there in the milk, Brahman is there in everything. Or in all the milk there is butter, but we cannot see. Here the example of butter and milk is given because butter is in milk but not directly visible. To get butter one has to churn milk. Similarly, Brahma is spread in the whole universe but not visible. Only by intense meditation it is possible to realize Brahma. Not able to see does not mean it does not exist. We cannot see so many things in this world. We cannot see the mind. We cannot see the buddhi. We cannot see the air. We cannot see the electricity. So everything cannot be seen. This is the perfect example given in Vedanta to explain the Paramatma's existence. Just like this, in the milk you are having this type of curd, this is a good example given. Ananmanustulamasrahasvamadhirkamajamayam arupagunavarnaakyam tadbrahmetyavadharayet. Brahma is neither subtle nor gross, neither short nor long. It has no birth, no change, no form, no quality, no color and even no particular name. Some of these qualities are explained in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, where one gets more detailed discussion about Brahma Tattva, which is imperceptible to the mind and hence cannot be described. They are all imperceptible and hence they cannot be described. Yadbhasa bhasate kadi bhasyeryatuna bhasyate yena sarvamidam bhati tadbrahmetyavadharayet. Yena sarvamidam bhati tadbrahmetyavadharayet. All heavenly bodies are illuminated by Brahma and are shining. But Brahma is not illuminated by their light. It is once again confirmed in this sloka that but for the illuminating power of Brahma, nothing can shine in this universe. Swayamantar bahirvyapta bhasayan akhilam jagat Brahma prakashate vakni prataptayasa pindavat. The Supreme Brahma, while pervading the entire universe outwardly and inwardly, shines of itself like the fire, like the fire that permeates a red-hot iron ball and glow as fire itself. An iron ball, when it in contact with the fire for a sufficiently long time, comes to glow as fire itself. It is our practical experience, we can see it. An iron ball, when it was put in fire for a very long time, it comes to glow as fire itself. We feel that ball itself is a fire. Jagad vilakshanam brahma brahmanyonya kinchana brahmanyat bhati chen vidya yatha marumarichika. Brahma is entirely different from universe, but there exists nothing in the universe that is not Brahma. If any object in the universe other than Brahma appears to exist, it is unreal, like the mirage which appears to be giving water in a desert. Just like a mirage in the desert, it will be working like that. Drishyate sruyate yad brahmanyo yad brahmano anyanna tat bhavet tattvajnanacha tad brahma sachidanandam advayam. All that is perceived or heard through the sense organs is Brahma only. The Brahma that is non-dual and which is in the form of Satchidananda is known only after attaining the knowledge of the reality. Whatever exists either in this limited body, mind and intellect, or in the outer created world, they are all manifestations of the Brahma and nothing else. When this truth is realized and experienced, one can see the entire universe in which the Brahma reveals as Satchitananda, absolute, because it is one and only one. Ekam yeva advaitam Brahma. Ekam yeva advaitam Brahma. Sarvagam Satchitatmanam Jnana Chakshur Nirikshate. Ajnana Chakshur Neksheta Vaswantam Bhanumandhavat. We can visualize Atma that has universal existence with the help of Jnana Netra or the eye of knowledge. We should have that Jnana Netra or eye of knowledge. Otherwise we cannot visualize Atma that has universal existence. Just as the blind cannot see the resplendent sun. If you are blind, you cannot see the greatest sun, resplendent sun. Simply because you cannot see the resplendent sun, you cannot say that there is no sun at all. Because you are blind, you are not able to see it. Sravanadi Viruddipta Jnanagni Paritapitah Jiva Sarvamalan Muktaha Swarnavat Jyotate Swayam. The Jiva is purified by heating in the fire of knowledge, kindled by hearing, reasoning, and deep contemplation on what has been heard and reasoned out. Then the Jiva shines of itself like pure gold obtained after melting and purifying the gold ore. Just as one heats gold ore in a crucible to purify it, one has to use the fire of jnana to purify the mind. That jnana can be achieved according to Hindu philosophy by Sravana, by listening, by hearing. Sravanam, that is it is the most important aspect of Hindu philosophy. By listening or by Sravana, manana, reasoning of truth, and also nididhyasana, deep contemplation. Sravana, manana, nididhyasana, these are the three steps. Then the mind will be free from impure thoughts. And the feeling of jiva gets automatically extinguished. Then only the self-illuminating Atma exists. Rudakashodito hyatma bodhabhanustamopahrit sarvavyapi sarvadhari bhati bhasayate akhilam. The Atma, sun of knowledge, which rises in the sky of the heart, destroys the darkness of ignorance, pervades everything and sustains all. It shines and makes everything in the universe to shine. Heart here means the arena of the mind from where noble and human thoughts flow. Here sun is brought into comparison because it is the ultimate source of light visible to the naked eye. Viddeshakalat janapeksha sarvagam sitadihrunnitya sukham niranjanam yasvatmatirtham bhajate vinishkriyah sasarvavit sarvagato amruto bhavet. Viddeshakalat janapeksha sarvagam sitadihrunnitya sukham niranjanam yasvatmatirtham bhajate vinishkriyah sarvavit sarvagato amruto bhavet. Amruto bhavet. The Jnani who is free from all the limitations of time, space and direction. And the Jnani who worships the holy place of his own Atma, which is present everywhere, which destroys heat and cold, and which is bliss eternal and stainless, becomes all-knowing and all-pervading and attains immortality. Ityatma bodha samaptaha. Thus ends Atma Bodha. May God bless all the beings of universe. Ityatma bodha samaptaha. Sarvam Sri Krishnarpanamastu. Swasti prajabhyah paripalayantam nyayena margena mahesha. Go brahmanebhyah subhamastu nityam. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. मंगलम कौसलेन्द्राय महनीय गुणात्मने चक्रवर्ती तनूजाय सार्वभौमाय मंगलम. ओम शांति शांति शांति. Let there be peace, peace and peace.